Hello and welcome to 2026 Tactician. The holiday overload of events to cover and or rage about is finally over, so it's time for me to return to the Mythic Journeys. And the first one of 2026 will be a theoretical one on Tangida, because the robots are still a bit meta, so here goes. Mission 1. Defeat 6 enemies with Tangida in one turn. I just love the battle fatigue reliant missions, and this is one of them. Mirror Octarius with its grots is definitely the way to go here, because that way if you don't get it right the first time, you don't need to restart the stage completely and can just wait for the grots to undergo some more mitosis. Actus is statistically almost certainly a must. For the first Tengida's Mythic Journey mission, you supposedly need him to defeat 6 enemies in one turn, which is going to require some battle fatigues. And I would probably, somewhat uncharacteristically, recommend Elite Mirror Octarius 7 rather than my normal Octarius 44 stage, because in the normal stage, the terrain isn't really good for it. You get cut off by several choke points and you need as big clusters of enemies as you can get. Now, I have brought in Dante to help remove the boys. I'm also gonna switch Actus to attack mode so that I don't get any summons, because the boys tend to use their grenades and either scare the grots or just damage the grots, so you wouldn't get more grots, which is no bueno. Okay, now there are only grots left, so I shall take a position with Tangida in the middle of the swarm. This should work nicely. Now, next step is to produce as many grots as possible and have them accumulate somewhere in the middle around Tangida to produce potential multi-kills, well, multi-defeats via battle fatigue. Now that I think about it, it's probably better to cluster them in more like this. I want at least 2 full lines of grots. You can have up to 15 of them, I believe, and you probably want to have as many as possible. Come on, give me at least that one more over here. Because with the first attack, you will want to use the Actus's reactivation thing. That's not 15 grots yet, is it? No, it wasn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can get one more, so this may take a while, but let's try. I think they now each have a 5% chance to spawn another one, and like 1, 2, 3. Shouldn't take longer than 2 to 3 turns really to spawn that last grot. Good. Now I don't think I can get any more grots. So time to use Nactus's heal on Tangida and hope that the targets he goes for is one of these two. Good. And that's 4 defeats already. And now aim for a grot that is surrounded by as many grots as possible. So I think the biggest cluster I see is 4 by attacking either this one or that one. No, boom, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well done, me. That would have been the first Tangidas mission done, where it is not a theoretical. Okay, time to clear the stage and hopefully get the upgrade too. They're multiplying. Why are they multiplying now that I don't want them to be multiplying? There, and done. And no legendary upgrade. Thank you, RNG. Mission 2. Deal 20,000 damage with 10 to enemies in contamination in one turn. This mission is definitely a guild raid mission, and disregarding Thaumakus cheese, use Vitruvius's active on Thaumakus, then kill one of the mirror images with Than, it should be really easily done against Sarek or the Screamer Killer, without even needing too much setup. Basically, bring Than, Vitruvius, Actus, Galgords, and maybe Thoriat or Eldrion, and you're good to go. I'll have to improvise with footage of one of my old Sarek runs, and by the way, I'm still using mostly the same strategy on that map. So, prepare a bait to low ground for Sarek almost like you would do in a normal robots run. On this map, putting Actus on the wires, someone adjacent to him, and Row and Galgords on the high ground works. Just make sure you can swap Row and Than on the high ground on turn 2 to do the combo on turn 3. When Sarek takes the bait in round 1, he will always summon in round 2, so you can use the second round to set up. Hit Sarek with Vitruvius, position Galgords adjacent to Than, and move Actus and any buffers you have brought for this, so that they will buff Than on the next turn. In your third turn, first hit Sarek with Vitruvius' active for the contamination, but preferably do not hit Than with it to not suppress him. Then place your buffers to affect Than's attack, then use Galgords' active, and then Than can finally rearrange Sarek's facial architecture with his consecutive normal punches. And Actus can hopefully help him do it again. And that should be Than's 20,000 damage to something in contamination. Moving on. Mission 3. Summon 100 units with Tangida. Unless your Than's abilities are low enough level that you can play a stage with infinite enemies that can kill your Skitari every turn, this one will take a while and some energy. Just bring Than everywhere and you will get the mission done. Eventually. Mission 4. Defeat 2 enemies in contamination with Than in one turn. If you have Vitruvius, this mission should be easy to do in any stage with a few melee enemies. If you don't, you will probably want to play around with the Plague Burst Carrier in a raid with Trash to kill. The fourth Tangida's Mythic Journey mission is to defeat 2 enemies while they are standing on contamination hexes with Tangida in one turn. This may get a little tricky, but I think I can see a way to do that. Well, here in Mirror Octarius 44, or basically whenever or wherever there are enemies that are melee only. So this time I'm gonna block the grots off like this. Next I'm gonna multiply them a little bit. And now what? Now I'm gonna do this. Clear out all these enemies. Vitruvius is active now, should have a range of 3 hexes, so should contaminate this. And I'm relying on these 2 grots not wanting to go to the high ground here. Okay, that's not a good plan now that I think about it. So let's modify it this way. There. That's 2 2 grots on contaminated hexes that Tangida can get into melee with. So now I'm gonna use not active, Actus's heal or boost or reactivation, whatever you wanna call it, to get the first kill here. And that leaves Tangida with an aimed attack on the second grot, who is also on the contamination hex, and that should clear the mission. So that was pretty easy, not gonna lie. Anyway, time to clear the mission to get yet another whatever upgrade drops from here and move on. And I didn't even get the upgrade, fuck my life. Mission 5. Deal 100,000 damage to enemies in contamination with Tan. This is probably the most annoying of Tan's missions, because of how temporary or random most contamination sources are, and because the Plague Burst Crawler isn't that great for guild raids. Not to mention contamination doesn't work on raid bosses. But still, you should get the mission done in a few guild raids or in one arena season if you decide to go that way. Either way, best of luck. And that's roughly how I will go about Tangida's Mythic Journey if I ever get to it. While the Cardiocore Galvanus would certainly be nice on him, I don't think the time investment is worth it right now, and Snowprint will probably soon release the new best of the best meta heroes for us to chase after anyway. If you're still here at the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching it and wish you only good things in 2026. And that's really everything for now. Kaurin, out.